What if the next confrontation in the Aegean involved not only Greece, but all of Europe? In recent years, tensions have escalated from rhetoric to reality. Fighter jets breach Greek airspace routinely. Warships patrol aggressively near Greek islands. Turkish President Erdogan's provocative warning.
Bir gece ansızın gelebilir.
Heightening fears across the Aegean. Greece stands firm at the eastern frontier of the European Union, guarding Europe's southeastern borders with its own strength, resolve, and resilience. But what if Greece didn't have to shoulder this burden alone? As the European Union seriously considers establishing a unified European army, a fundamental question emerges. Could this collective force finally provide Greece the support it desperately needs? Could it balance Turkey's growing aggression in the eastern Mediterranean? Europe's defensive vision is taking concrete form. Billions are being invested into joint defense initiatives such as the Rearm Europe project and the European Sky Shield. The vision is clear: a powerful, interoperable European army ready to defend the continent's borders with shared strategic interests and collective strength. Yet, one truth remains paramount. Greece must always be prepared to defend itself first. Self-reliance is essential, not optional. But collective strength matters too. Greece's borders aren't just Greek, they're European, and threats against Greece or Cyprus represent threats against the entire European Union. To grasp why this collective defense is crucial, we must first clearly understand the immediate dangers Greece faces today. Before we continue, a big thank you to Freedom 24 for sponsoring today's video. Freedom 24 is a trusted European platform for investing in global markets. More about them in a moment. Chapter 1: Greece's Defense Dilemma at the Edge of Europe. Why exactly does Greece need a European army? Today, Greece is not merely at Europe's frontier. It is in the crosshairs of continuous provocations from Turkey, facing multiple threats simultaneously. Greece's sovereignty and Europe's credibility have been tested repeatedly in recent years. In early 2020, Turkey dramatically demonstrated its willingness to weaponize migrants as political pawns, pushing thousands toward the Evros border in a deliberate attempt to destabilize Greece and test Europe's resolve. Later that same year, Europe witnessed how close Greece and Turkey came to armed conflict when naval forces from both countries engaged in a dangerous standoff near Castellorizo. The cause was Turkey's aggressive maritime claims and illegal exploration for hydrocarbons within areas internationally recognized as Greek and Cypriot exclusive economic zones. Such provocations haven't stopped since. Erdogan's open threats, frequent airspace violations, and continued naval confrontations remain persistent realities. Just last summer, Turkish naval vessels obstructed critical energy projects near the Greek islands of Kossos and Crete, openly challenging developments such as the EastMed pipeline and the Euro-Asia interconnector, a vital power transmission cable linking Israel, Cyprus, Greece, and the broader European power grid. These escalating actions highlight the urgent necessity of establishing a cohesive European military deterrent. On the other hand, American giants Chevron and ExxonMobil, with strong will and against Ankara's threats, are preparing to explore and potentially extract natural gas reserves south of Crete. While drilling is not yet commenced, preliminary seismic surveys indicate the presence of substantial deposits. Estimates suggest these reserves could contain approximately 24 trillion cubic feet or 680 billion cubic meters of natural gas, with some projections indicating the possibility of up to 30 trillion cubic feet. Such volumes have the potential to significantly enhance the European Union's energy autonomy, offering a domestic source capable of reducing reliance on external suppliers. This underscores the imperative for Europe to defend its sovereign rights and secure its energy future against external challenges. Turkey's stance extends to environmental projects. When Greece, complying with EU legislation, attempts to establish protected marine parks within its legitimate maritime zones, Ankara consistently responds with threats and obstruction, aiming to prevent Greece from exercising sovereign rights even over its natural resources. Yet perhaps the most troubling sign of Turkey's intentions remains its parliament's ongoing casus belli resolution, officially declaring war should Greece legally extend its territorial waters from 6 to 12 nautical miles, a right explicitly protected under international law and the UNCLAUSE, a treaty every EU member has signed, but which Turkey refuses to recognize. Then there's Cyprus, another frontline EU state that faces Turkey's military and diplomatic aggression. Caught between geographical isolation and the EU's collective hesitation, the strategic vulnerability of Cyprus underscores the urgency of a unified European defense response. Greece has invested significantly in its military, acquiring advanced Rafale fighter jets, state-of-the-art Belhera frigates, and increasing its defense budget dramatically, reaching over 3.5% of GDP, Europe's highest. Yet the question remains, can Greece sustain this financial and strategic burden alone indefinitely? In short, Greece's need for a European army goes beyond additional troops or weaponry. It's about gaining strategic depth, political legitimacy, and credible deterrence. A unified European presence could transform isolated responses into collective action, preventing provocations from escalating into open conflict and safeguarding Europe's unity and vital interest, from the waters of the Aegean to the shores of Cyprus. In an increasingly unpredictable world, securing your future requires more than military strength. It demands smart financial planning. Freedom 24 offers professional and transparent access to global stock markets and strategic financial services across Europe. With Freedom 24, you can trade stocks, ETFs, bonds, and options at over 15 major international exchanges, including Nasdaq and the New York Stock Exchange. Freedom 24's user-friendly platform, supported by award-winning financial analysts, empowers you to confidently navigate investment opportunities, including popular corporate and government bonds that help diversify your portfolio. To learn more and take control of your financial future, you can download Freedom 24 for free using the link in the description below. Now, let's return to our analysis. Chapter 2: What a unified European army would look like. The idea of a European army is no longer confined to academic debates or political speeches. It is beginning to take shape gradually, yet decisively, as Europe faces mounting external threats and rising internal pressure to build a collective shield. This army would not replace the national forces of EU countries. Instead, it would unify a part of them under a central command structure capable of deploying with speed, precision, and strategic coherence. It would exist as a permanent standing force, not a symbolic one, but a practical tool ready to defend Europe's borders. It would be fully compatible with NATO, but its first mission would be to serve European interests directly. According to defense experts, a realistic starting point for such a force would be 250,000 active troops, with the potential to grow toward 500,000 as coordination deepens. Each member state would contribute proportionately depending on its economic capacity, population size, and exposure to external threats. For frontline nations like Greece and Cyprus, this army would be more than a European project. It would be an extension of their own national security. But numbers alone don't define the strength of a modern army. What matters even more is interoperability. A European army would be built on common platforms across air, land, and sea, enabling troops from different countries to operate seamlessly as a one integrated force. This vision is already becoming a reality. In the skies, advanced aircraft such as the Eurofighter Typhoon and the French Rafale operate side by side, sharing technologies and tactics. At sea, next-generation frigates like the Belhera class, designed specifically for nations like Greece and France, form the backbone of coordinated naval operations. On land, unified armed vehicles, artillery systems, and logistics infrastructure would further ensure comprehensive interoperability across European armed forces. Yet, achieving such deep military integration must go hand in hand with rigorous democratic oversight and transparent governance. Europe's historical experience underscores that clear legal framework. Strong parliamentary control and accountable leadership are essential safeguards. These measures will ensure the European Army remains a force committed solely to democracy, peace, and collective security. Supporting these developments, Europe is simultaneously advancing the European Sky Shield Initiative, ESSI, led by Germany and involving 21 countries, including Greece. This unified air and missile defense system aims to create a comprehensive multi-layer shield capable of detecting, tracking, and neutralizing ballistic cruise and hypersonic missile threats. Initiatives like the ESSI illustrate Europe's broader commitment not only to military effectiveness, but also to an integrated, cooperative approach to continental defense. These systems are not speculative, they are being delivered now. More importantly, they are designed to work in sync with NATO technology, meaning the European Army would not create conflict or redundancy with a transatlantic alliance. Instead, it would strengthen it, fostering faster responses, greater cohesion, and reduced fragmentation. But the strength of the European Army wouldn't just come from its weapons, it would come from its legal and moral framework. All European Union member states have ratified the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, recognizing it as the backbone of international maritime law. This agreement defines maritime borders, navigation rights, and exclusive economic zones. It is a shared legal code that gives Europe's naval and air operations a clear foundation of legitimacy. And it draws a stark contrast with Turkey, which remains one of the few coastal states in the world that has not signed or ratified UNCLOS. This legal divide is not a technical matter. It reflects a deeper clash of principles. While Greece, Cyprus, and every other EU country base their claims on international law, Turkey rejects that framework entirely. In this context, a European army becomes not only a military shield, but a guardian of legal order and enforcement of the international norms that underpin the stability of the entire Mediterranean. With shared command, unified equipment, legal cohesion, and strategic interest, the European Army could evolve into more than a concept. It could become a real deployable force ready to respond wherever Europe's borders are under pressure, whether that's in Estonia, Cyprus, or the riverbank of Evros. While the idea of a European army has gained significant momentum, experts estimate the meaningful operational readiness could be achieved within the next 5 to 10 years, provided the political consensus and investments continue at the current pace. The EU has already begun implementing critical infrastructure and training initiatives, signaling clear steps towards this ambitious goal. Before we continue, do you know only 4.9% of our viewers subscribe? If you are enjoying this video, please hit subscribe, leave a like, and share it. It helps us create more content like this. Now, let's return to our analysis of how the European Army could shape the future of Greece, Cyprus, and Europe. Chapter 3: Transforming Greece's Security and Economic Future. The establishment of a European army would profoundly reshape Greece's strategic, economic, and geopolitical landscape, moving far beyond immediate military reinforcement. Strategically, the presence of unified European forces would provide Greece and Cyprus a critical layer of security. Advanced joint naval patrols, integrated air defense systems, and rapid response ground units would effectively neutralize threats before they escalate. Instead of reacting individually to provocations, Greece and Cyprus would benefit from the deterrent power of collective European strength, making aggressive actions costly and politically risky. Economically, military stability has far-reaching benefits. Consider tourism, a vital economic engine for Greece and Cyprus. The tourism sector in Greece alone generated more than 21.7 billion euros in revenue in 2024. However, this success depends heavily on perceptions of security. Frequent military tensions threaten this critical industry. Even brief periods of instability can severely impact tourist arrivals, investor confidence, and economic growth. The European Army would offer long-term stability, reassuring tourists and international investors that Greece and Cyprus remain secure and attractive destinations. Moreover, energy independence represents another major economic gain. The proposed EastMed pipeline and natural gas exploration projects south of Crete, holding reserves of approximately 24 to 30 trillion cubic feet of gas, promise not only significant economic returns, but also strategic autonomy for the EU. Turkey's repeated challenges to these projects underscore the critical need for robust military deterrence. European army forces protecting such infrastructure would send a powerful message. Europe's economic interest and energy future are non-negotiable. The geopolitical impact would be equally transformative. Direct European military backing would fundamentally shift regional dynamics, compelling Turkey to reconsider its strategic calculations, knowing any aggression would provoke a united European response. Such collective security would empower Greece and Cyprus diplomatically, allowing them to strengthen alliances and assert greater influence in regional and international forums. The European army thus becomes not only a practical force, but also a powerful emblem of unity, legitimacy, and strategic resolve. In essence, the creation of European army would dramatically elevate Greece and Cyprus's security and economic stability, reshaping their roles within Europe and providing long-term prosperity, diplomatic strength, and lasting peace. Greece and Cyprus stand at a historic turning point. The decision to create a European army isn't merely strategic, it's about defining Europe's role and unity in the world. Can Europe afford to remain fragmented? Or is this the moment to embrace decisive collective action? The unified approach could mark a new era, not just in defense, but in diplomacy, economic prosperity, and lasting peace. The stakes are clear, and the choice Europe makes today will shape its future for decades to come. Thanks again to Freedom 24 for supporting this video. Don't forget to visit their website via the link below and explore your investment possibilities. If you believe in a united, secure, and prosperous Europe, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and activate notifications. Your support allows us to keep exploring the crucial issues defining our collective future.